20-second hug, according to research, makes all the difference. Research shows it can boost well-being. I also find if a child is struggling, one of the best things we can do is hug them. In fact, the times our children deserve our hugs the least are the times they need them most. The power of a 20-second hug. And also on this one, 80% of school students report in a study that their parents teach them that personal achievement is more important than caring for others. So we value achievement more than caring and empathy for others. Number 9, unschedule yourself and your children. Sometimes less really is more where it comes to our kids. And in today's day and age, we often have them, well, school takes up most of the day, but then we often put in place swimming before school or ballet or something else, and then sports after school, and then there's this, and then there's that, and the kids want to do this, and before we know it, the whole day is filled up with scheduled activities. Unscheduled time is significant when it comes to building resilience. And the question is, when in your child's week does that unscheduled time happen? Even as a church sometimes we schedule, and today is one of those days, where we schedule ourselves all day, we don't actually get time to just be unscheduled and Sabbath together. Unschedule yourself. And often we've got to look at our calendar. I know that in my calendar, the first things that go in for me are kids' birthdays, anniversaries, special events, family events. I ask my family, what's coming up this year that I need to be there for? They're put into my diary first, before anything else goes in. And then when people ring and say, Darren, can you come and do this? Oh, sorry, I'm already got an appointment on that day. That appointment with my son, or my daughter, or my family, but they don't need to know. But I need to make sure that my family knows that I will show up. And I plan to do that. And so I make sure that my schedule, my family things are in there before I do anything else. By abolishing, according to Greg McCowan, any chance of being bored, we have lost the time we used to have to think and to process. If we want to be creators rather than consumers, we need to take a break from our devices and give our brains some room to breathe. And being bored, I say to my kids, is good. It's okay. Catherine Price says the ultimate solution is to create distance from our devices and reconnect our lives. It's ironic that we've got these devices to connect us, but we've lost connection to our lives and to the present and to reality. We are trapped in a self-perpetuating cycle. Not only does dopamine pull us back to our devices, but thanks to dopamine, we've been so conditioned to think of checking our devices again and again, so that when we can't check, fear of missing out, FOMO, kicks in. In other words, as she's saying, along with what Gillespie said, we as adults are not far behind our children in being addicted to these devices. Fear of missing out, according to Catherine Price, makes it impossible for us to be truly present and to have fun. Often we're more excited about catching the photo, the perfect photo, than actually enjoying the moment with our family. And this is where the fear of missing out kicks in and prevents us from being truly present with our family. Number 10, when behaviours are challenging, remain calm and lean in. When we remember that challenging behaviour comes from unmet needs, and we see the challenging behaviour as a chance to get close to our children and problem solve with them, we build our relationships rather than tear them down. When my kids, and even now, when my kids are acting out or when they're being difficult, I know that I need to find that father-son or father-daughter date, and that I need to plan it sooner rather than later because their love cup is empty and I need to refill it. And so when behaviours are challenging, for me it's, okay, I need to schedule as soon as I can that father-daughter, father-son date so that I can find out what's going on, which often I find out on the journey, but also I can refill their love cup, which is obviously running empty. And often when your kid's acting out, they're asking, do you love me? Do you have time for me? Do I really matter? That's what the acting out is often asking. And trying as a parent to not buy into what's going on. Yes, you can't let the child get away with it, but understanding that that is a call for TIME helps you get through whatever that is, and then to refill their love cup at the earliest possibility. Number 11, offer autonomy. While we do need to have rules and limits, our children will thrive feeling heard and cared for when we give them choices and allow them to decide for themselves wherever possible. And right from a young age, I try and build the power of choice into our children's lives. So do you want to wear the blue dress or do you want to wear the yellow dress? Which do you want? And so I've got boundaries, but I'm giving them a choice within those boundaries. And often the tantrums get pushed to one side when you offer those sorts of choices. And those choices, of course, change as the child gets older. But offering the child autonomy in their choices often helps. Interesting, a recent study done in technology found that if we help our child to work on the schedule of when they're going to be online and when they're going to be offline and when they're going to put their phone down and when they're going to go to bed, and we come to that agreement, if we do that with our child and they feel like they've got a say in that, in 90% of cases, the child put their phone down when they knew they had to. In other words, they helped make the choice. They help put that agreement in place, and they're more likely to say, okay, it's 9 o'clock, I need to put the phone in its dock and go to bed. If they've built that with you, often we want to just come down like a brick and say, this is what's happening, but allowing them to have choice and currency in that often meant that they followed that tech agreement better than just saying, this is what we're doing and that's it. Interesting. Number 12, play with them. The power of fun. In this modern age, there's so many things we can do. Board games have come back with a vengeance, and with Kickstarter around, there's so many games that are good family games, board games that are available, and compared to computer games, which, as we've said, has its damaging effects, board games played together as a family builds connection, builds resilience, builds identity and builds rapport with the family, and there's also a sense of fun alongside that as well. And there's so many good board games out there. There's one that our family loves playing, of all things, called Exploding Kittens. Another game is called Burrito, Throw Burrito. And there's so many other good games out there. If you go to a good gaming store, you can find some really good Kickstarter games that are available, and we have a whole cupboard full of them at home that we pull out with our kids and play them. And we find that when we pull those games out, the devices get forgotten about, and a family gaming occurs. So, yeah, get some good games or find ways to play together as a family kids gravitate away from their devices, and you forget yours too, when you play together. People should cultivate positive emotions in their own lives and the lives of those around them, not just because doing so makes them feel good in the moment, but also because doing so transforms people for the better and sets them on paths towards flourishing, resilience, and healthy longevity. Catherine Price says, true fun is the confluence of playfulness, connection, and flow. Whenever these three states occur at the same time, we experience what she calls true fun. Number 13, save their presents and display them. When they make that little clay pot, when they paint that picture, when they do that drawing, when they create and make, as a parent, value them, set up a little trophy cabinet or something, or a wall where those things go on. But that helps your child to feel valued when that occurs and builds connection. I've still got a picture in my office my daughter drew when she was 8. For some reason why she wanted school that day, so she came to my office and for some reason she drew a self-portrait, just half of her face. She drew half of her face as a self-portrait, did a good job of it. And then underneath she wrote, so Dad can see me when I am not here. So Dad can see me when I am not here. Much to her embarrassment, that still sits in my office, and when she comes in, she has a laugh. Dad, you still got that picture? I said, yeah, I love that picture. It's still on my wall. She feels seen, she feels heard, she feels valued, and maybe a little bit embarrassed, but I'll take the first three over that as well. But yes, save their presents and display them. Number 14, tell them you love them regularly and show up. Tell them you love them regularly and show up. The saying there, if I had to choose between loving you and breathing, I would use my last breath to tell you I love you. And so often, the kids know I love them, I'm the breadwinner, I do this, I do that for them, and I do this. But do you actually tell your children, I love you, I value you, I'm proud of you? The kids need to hear it. And I try and find ways, even though it might be slightly awkward, to tell them regularly that I love you and I am proud of you. I love you and I am proud of you. And even though they're both now young adults, they still need to hear that. And finally, and probably most importantly and interestingly, Amanda Heil's study, number 15, foster spirituality, the church religion advantage. Myriad studies reveal that spirituality is significantly associated with higher life satisfaction, better mental and physical health, and more resilience, even when accounting for current age, gender, age at separation, human development index scores, and childhood diversity. What Amanda Heil's doing a study in is children who have hit hard times, have lost their family for whatever reason, or been separated, or gone through some really hard times. And her studies are proving very significantly that spirituality ups that resilience factor in powerful ways, even when they do have those hard times that have occurred. And so just by showing up here regularly with your children, being involved with your church, is a resilience factor that is of significance. And I think that is it. I think that's it. Yep. That's it. 15 ways to grow resilience. I guess in summing up, and we come to the end of a 4-part marathon, Thank you for staying on and being there through that. It's all been recorded as well, so that those that had to leave or those that couldn't be here can watch it later on, or if you want to re-watch it. So a lot of information is poured into that. Feel free to connect and stay connected. I am your conference Children and Family Ministries. I am not that far away, and I'm happy to talk. I've lost it completely, but dpratt@adventist.org.au is my email. You can also, of course, connect through the app that is coming out very soon. That will have podcasts on it. It'll have booklets that I've written on these topics. It'll have recordings. A lot of these recordings will be on there as well. I know these probably go onto your Hoxton Park page as well, these for today. I guess in summary, my challenge to you is, as I said in the sermon, to be the parents, to be the family, and to be the village. Surround your kids, love them like never before, never give up on fighting for the right relationship connection with them, and let them know they're loved. All-powerful resilience factors. Let me pray for you before we go and catch the last rays of sun before we lose it for the day. So let's bow our heads. Loving Father in heaven, I just want to pray for this church. I want to pray for each and every family that is here and for those that aren't here. I want to thank you for what this church stands for and what it's done over the years. The socials, the adventurer programs, the Pathfinder programs, the things that they do to impact their children in significant ways. We know that the enemy has plans for our children, but we do too. And we know that your love and your power and all that you do, that you triumph in the end, that we've read Revelation and you win. And so we want to place our children before you. Help us to surround them as a village and grow them towards your kingdom so that they can go out and be world changers for you. So just help Hoxton Park to be that place. This we pray in thy name. Amen. Thank you and God bless you each one. It's been a marathon.